What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a whole bunch of black Digimon that we need to be taking a little bit of a look at, and like we tend to do in these review videos, where we can, it's not always possible, but where we can, we do like to be building up to a big, bad, super rare Digimon. Well, we got a big, bad, rare Digimon here in Justimon Critical Arm, and you know what? I think it looks pretty gosh darn cool. Plus, we got Dark Nightmon, which is a rare as well. So, you know, a couple of rares. I'll take that, ladies and gentlemen. I will take that. Now, we do have some vanilla Digimon we need to talk about first, so let's very quickly have a gander through those, starting with Golemon. Now, what we got here is a level 4, 5 cost to play normally, 1 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power. It's fine. And it does actually have a hook, and the hook is that you are a 1 cost to Digivolve level 4. And that's it. Now, we did see this with Numamon, and Numamon's cheaper to play, but Numamon's also, like, hilariously weak, so at least we got a decent alternative to that. And we saw it with Tankmon, and Tankmon's actually 1 more to play, but also has 1,000 extra power, and that's essentially where we are. We've got a third Digimon that can Digivolve as a 1 cost. No, I'm lying to you, I forgot Grizzlymon from BT9, and this is exactly Grizzlymon. Like, literally exactly Grizzlymon. And I forgot Dark Tyrannomon from Starter Deck 5, which has Blocker, which is actually the best of them, because it's got Blocker. So you know what, I'll be honest with you, we didn't really need this. We didn't really need another 1 cost to Digivolve level 5. We've got a bunch, and this is literally exactly the same as, well, other than name and, you know, title, you know, the name of the Digimon. This is exactly the same as the Grizzlymon we just got in the set before. So I'm not sure we needed this. I don't want to be rude, right? But what is this really bringing to the table? The answer is it's actually bringing nothing new to the table, like, at all. So, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is one of those ones where we can just look at it and go, you know what? Maybe we didn't need this card. Maybe Digimon, maybe Bandai could have saved the printer ink on this one. Which makes me a little bit sad to say, but sorry. We've also got Gogmamon here. 5 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 8,000 power. And look, it's a 3 cost to Digivolve. That's not good. That's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That's not good at all. What we basically got is a 5 cost to play level 5. That's the hook here. It only costs 5 memory to play. But so does the Waramonzamon from BT5, and that's a 2 cost to Digivolve. Yes, I know this new dude's got extra power, don't care. Generally speaking, and I know there are always exceptions, but generally speaking, when I'm doing this, the real goal here is play my level 5 to get to a level 6 that I'm really excited about. Is anyone really excited about having an 8,000 power level 5 on the field? It's slightly higher than average? No. No is the answer. So, sorry, in this situation, I'd rather play Waramonzamon. Maybe if I need 8 5 cost to play level 5s, but I've yet to find a deck where I actually need 8 5 to cost level 5. Let's ignore it, ladies and gentlemen, it's not good. But we've got one more vanilla one here. We've got Assaultmon, 7 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 10,000 power. And look, I know it's got lots of power, okay, but really? And to be fair, like, it's exactly the same as Big Mamamon from BT6. Again, different picture and different name of Digimon, but other than that, it's exactly the same, and Big Mamamon's not seeing any play. 737 is the average that we see, and Big Mamamon at least has some play in some Mamamon decks. 737 is what we expect. 7310, nah. And you always got Cyberdramon here, which admittedly is 1 more to play normally, but, you know, has skills. That's from EX2, so it's not actually out here yet, but it will be in the not too distant future, and it will be out by the time this is out over here. So basically, this is another one. I don't want to be mean, I just see no real reason to play this. So let's move on to talk about some better Digimon that actually have skills and might actually see play. Like, for instance, Skull Knightmon. That could be good, right? Skull Knightmon could be fun. What we've actually got here is Mighty Axe Mode. 4 cost to play, I should say translations to the lovely folks over at digimoncard.dev. 4 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power. It's alright. The name of this card is also treated as Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon, which can be useful for other cards. When you play, reveal 3 cards on the top of your deck and add a card with Knightmon in its name, Deadly Axemon, or Nene and Mano among them to your hand. And then if you Digicrossed with 2 materials, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. So basically, when you play, you can grab a card and then delete a Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. Like, I cannot be the only one that thinks this looks really good. As far as I'm aware, the Tamer unfortunately has not yet been revealed, which is a little bit sad. But hey-ho. And also, you'll notice that this lets you grab a Deadly Axemon, and this card is treated as Deadly Axemon, which is very important. And then you've got Digicross -1 with Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon. What that means is you can play one of each of those underneath this Digimon when you play it, and reduce the cost by 1 for each one you do. So just Skull Knightmon or just Deadly Axemon makes this a 3 cost. If you can get both under as you play it, it becomes a 2 cost, which can be really rather cheap. Plus, you then get to delete a Digimon and get some extra added consistency. I cannot be the only one that thinks this looks like a pretty good deal. We've then got Dark Knightmon, 8 cost to play normally, 4 cost to Digivolve, 7,000 power. And I told you the average is 737, so this is a pretty big dude. But when you play, you get to de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. That is to say, trash the top card of the stack, take a level 5 down to a level 4, or a level 4 down to a level 3, etc. But if you Digicrossed with 2 materials, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. So we've got a very similar thing coming on here to Skull Knightmon, but now it's a higher, cost you can actually go and get, which is good. On all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, you can return a level 4 or lower black Digimon card from this Digimon card's Digivolution sources, and then play a Skull Knightmon or Deadly Axemon from your Digivolution cards for free. Yep. And actually, let's not sleep on the fact, returning it's happening when you're going to be deleted, so putting that black card back to your hand is a good thing, because it's now available to use again in the future, and you get to play one for free. Yes. Also remember that Skull Knightmon is a level 4 or lower black Digimon card, so you can essentially return that to your hand, and then immediately play it when you would be deleted, which is clearly a good thing. Then you got Digicross -2 with Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon, which, if it works, turns you into a 4 cost, which is crazy cheap. But then remember that Skull Knightmon could potentially just be played straight away. Love it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, when you delete it at least. Absolutely love it. But I told you that we were building up to Justimon Critical Arm here, and we absolutely are. What we've got here is 11, free 11. 11 cost to play, 3 cost to Digivolve, 11,000 power, which, as I've told you a bunch of times, is your average for a level 6. It's not particularly good. It's not particularly bad. It's right there in the middle. So if we're going to find some value here, if we're going to find a really good card that makes us excited, it's going to have to be done in the skills. And what we've got here is you can Digivolve for 2 memory from any card whose name contains Justimon. So what we've seen, and we've seen this a bunch in this game, Digivolving a level 6 into a level 6. Basically just going, well, you know what? I can go from a 6 into a 6, and when I Digivolve, I get to draw a card. Sometimes you use your Digivolution skills, and then you're like, well, I've used my Digivolution skill. Now what? Well, now you Digivolve into another Digimon and start rolling with something else. It opens up some really good options that make me very happy indeed. Oh yeah, and it's got a Digivolution skill. You can return a card with Justimon in its name, other than Justimon Critical Arm from this Digimon's Digivolution cards, and delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 9 or less, which is huge. And again, getting the card back to your hand is not a punishment. It's a good thing, because that card is now in your hand, ready to be used again in the future, which is clearly a very, very nice thing indeed. So all the way up here, you're basically deleting your opponent's Digimon, and, the amount of power you can target, or the play cost you can target, just keeps going up and up and up. And then, of course, what you can do here is Digivolve into another Justimon Critical Arm as a 2-cost, and round we go. Notice how it does say, other than Justimon Critical Arm, is to prevent you looping it. Otherwise, every turn you could Digivolve a Critical Arm into a Critical Arm, return to your hand, delete a Digimon, next turn Digivolve, and just keep going round in a loop. But the wording here specifically stops you looping it, which is really sad. You can loop other Justimon, just not this one. And then when attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Justimon in its name, other than Justimon Critical Arm, from your hand, ignoring Digivolution requirements by paying 2 memory. So here, you're just Digivolving again into more Justimon, which is clearly a very nice thing indeed. For anyone that's wondering, we had Blitzarm back in EX2, which when Digivolving, you could either get an extra 2,000 power, unsuspend, or delete a Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. And when attacking once per turn, you could activate that same skill for each Tamer you have in play. So, you know, the three options are gain 2,000 power, unsuspend, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. But when attacking once per turn, you could do it for each Tamer you have in play as well, which is clearly fun. They're the only 2 Justimon we've seen so far, your Blitzarm and your Critical Arm, but I do think it is very fair to say that we are probably going to see more of these in the future. I don't think that's a particularly controversial statement. So this is one of these ones that looks really cool now, but do bear in mind it's probably going to keep going. We've already got that you can Digivolve into each other, or at least you can Digivolve Blitzarm into Critical Arm, and you've got all these lovely skills, but it's probably only going to get better in the future. And then we need to finish with just one nice little option card here, because otherwise where are we going to look at it? It's Justice Kick. A 12-cost option card, which is absolutely absurd. That is crazy expensive. But when you would use this card, for each Tamer you've got in play, reduce the cost by 1. Even bearing that in mind, you know, expensive option cards are like 8 cost. You got to have 4 Tamers in play to bring this down to an 8 cost. This is huge. But when you play it, you can play a Digimon card with Justimon in its name from your hand for free, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of the played Digimon's play cost or less. So actually this is kind of worth it, because both the Justimon we've seen so far are 11 cost or 12 cost. So you can play an 11 or 12 cost for free, and then delete an 11 or 12 cost, which is going to be a level 6 probably. Yeah, it's crazy expensive, and there's no argument from me to the contrary. But if you've got a couple Tamers in play, it's like a 10 cost. And actually, as a 10 cost, this is kind of busted, because it lets you play an 11 or 12 cost card for 10 cost, and it doesn't let you delete any Digimon on your opponent's side of the field, but it's going to give you a lot to choose from. And I hate to say it, but even though this is a 12 cost card, there is a chance it's actually worth it. Also, as a security guard, you can play a black Tamer from your hand without paying and then put this card into your hand, which as far as security skills go, pretty good. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I promised you a bunch of new cards, and I promised you a new Justimon, and I'm fairly sure I delivered here. And it looks kind of exciting, but for me, it's the future of this. We've only seen 2 Justimon, but it really looks like more are coming, and I think this is only going to get better and better as we go. But for now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know how excited you are. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.